If you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you probably know that I'm a big fan of different ways to make fire. I think that's just an important skill, an important kind of tool to have with you as a way to make fire. We've looked at several using magnesium because magnesium burns really, really hot and it's kind of impervious to the weather, sort of, other than wind. Today we're going to take a look at another one. This may be the best one I've seen so far. This is from All Weather Firestarters. It's made in the USA, and that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for another video about how to make fire and really cool fire starters. This one, again, is the all-weather fire starter, which features magnesium, a huge magnesium rod, and a ferrocerium rod, a big old honking handle, and there are several versions of this available. We're going to take a look at this and get to doing some of that fire stuff right after this word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by my friends at XS Sights, the fastest sight in any light. I've been using XS Sights for a lot of years, and it's really cool to have them as a channel sponsor. XS Sights are made in the USA in the great state of Texas, and you can save 15% on your order at their website by using the coupon code SOP15. Okay, we are back, as they say. So first of all, a couple of thoughts about this before we get started. You know that I've looked at several different magnesium type fire starters over the years here, and I've had, pros and cons and good successes and not with them, but they all have a couple of drawbacks in my mind. One of the drawbacks is that the magnesium in many of them is so hard, you got to really, really scrape really hard for a really long time to get just a tiny pile of magnesium. And why would you want a tiny pile of magnesium? Well, magnesium burns very, very hot, somewhere around 5,000 degrees. So it's really good if you got damp tinder or something of kind of cooking that moisture out of it, humidity out of it, and helping it get going. And it burns even in damp conditions. So it's got some big benefits. It's also, you can get a whole lot of fires out of a chunk of magnesium. But again, it's very difficult to strike sometimes. And then the other issue with a lot of them is they have some of them have the attached ferro rod, the little blocks, and those ferrocerium rods are always coming off and just coming unglued, and they're tiny. This one has the ability to replace both the magnesium and the ferrocerium rod. And I spoke with the designer and creator of these, and he makes these by hand in his own shop. This is not some Chinese import. These are made in America. And he has developed specifically like his own particular blend of magnesium that he gets made for him. So the alloy is mixed to his specifications. So after much trial and error, he's been doing this for about 20-something years now. So that being said, I'm just going to give you a quick look at this. It comes with this enclosed striker, and feels like it's pretty sharp. I like that it's not just a little piece of a hacksaw blade like so many that rarely works very well for me, to be honest with you. And it's got a long enough cord on here so you can keep it attached, you won't lose it, but you got plenty of room to work. And then again, the ferrocerium rod's pretty good size. That's about 1/4 inch. And then this is about a 1/2 inch of magnesium rod. And again, they have smaller ones. They have ones with composites and they have several different versions. This one I like because it's got a big old handle. You can really get a hold of it, as they say. So without any further ado, why don't we get to doing some of that fire making stuff? Okay, pardon the difference in exposures. The sun is sneaking in and out behind the clouds is really wearing me out. So we're just gonna use the old stump top here and see how well this magnesium scrapes here. So let's just get started. We're going to try to scrape long scrapes and get as much utility out of this as possible. I'm just going to do some slow ones first just to see how well it comes off. And the scraper itself is doing really well. If you can hear it, it's scraping like got a nice 90-degree spine on it. I'm just going to turn this over, try to keep the roundness going. I don't get too close to that ferrocerium rod, or it might kick this thing off. So let's just get a little bit more aggressive with the magnesium now, as if we were in a hurry. Now, if this were a windy day, or you're doing this like you really need an emergency fire and you can't afford to lose any of this, I would say do it in your hat. If you're wearing a hat or in a neckerchief, or even in your shoe, just something that's going to keep the wind from blowing it around. But we don't have any wind today, and we've got a beautiful flat stump top here, so we're just going to do that. And plus, I want you to be able to see it really well. Okay, look at that. And that is a good sized pile. That's probably the biggest pile I've ever been able to make in that period of time, that shortness of time. And just for kicks, just see how well this scraper works on some fat wood. Because you may not have fat wood, but just because, right? Why not? And of course it's going to work excellent. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Look at that, man. Oh, man. So if you find you some fat wood along your magnesium, you have the extra goodness. And what I like about that is the fat wood, magnesium burns really hot, but it burns really fast. So fat wood burns not as hot, but it burns a little slower and more steadily. Look at that, would you? Oh my gosh. All right, we can put you over there for now. So here's where we're at. Here's where we're at. We have the magnesium here. We got some fat wood here. And then I've got right here some prepared, just some shavings, because preparation, or actually poor preparation, is one of the main reasons I see people fail in fire making. And when I was a scoutmaster, I always would try to teach my Boy Scouts that when you think you have enough prepared, then go ahead and do at least 2 to 3 times that much, because if you're trying to build a sustainable fire, especially in an emergency, you don't want to have to restart over. Once you get some good tinder, that's the hardest part usually. You want to go ahead and make sure you got everything ready so you don't waste that. So that being said, we're going to start with just the magnesium, and then we'll probably throw the fat wood on and throw the other one. Let's just see how well this one works. Let's get the paint off. Oh my gosh, that thing strikes a good spark on the ferro rod too. Let's just see. And look at her go. There she goes right there. We'll put the fat wood on there now. We'll put the wood on there now, and man, oh man, look at that. Oh, baby. Chuck Norris doesn't get frostbite. Chuck Norris bites frost. All righty, well, just a quick look at the all-weather Firestarters magnesium Firestarter. And I got to say, so far after almost 11 years of doing this, this is the absolute best magnesium Firestarter I've ever seen, and one of the best all-purpose Firestarters in general. It really, really works. And you don't even need to use the magnesium if you have fat wood or something. You can use the ferrocerium rod, whatever you want to call it. Fire steel on this thing is exceptionally well done. It's got a really, really high level of sparks. It's a really, I think he's done a really good job of sourcing this and getting the best sparks available. And the magnesium is easy to strike, easy to scrape, just really, really good. And I like the fact that it's replaceable with just an Allen wrench. So I'll put a link to this in the video description below. It is allweatherfirestarters.com, patent pending. And on the large Firestarters, by the way, he has a lifetime guarantee on all large Firestarters. So I encourage you to check that out. Thanks to the folks at All Weather Firestarters for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. If you like this video, I really would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with people. Maybe leave your comments below, because it really does help get the word out there, let YouTube know that this is the kind of video that you want to see and other people like you want to see, because they hadn't been showing a lot of us in the outdoors channel, outdoor space, a lot of love lately. So I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.